Rodriguez Show.
And we are back on The Rodriguez Show. And we have our first guest for the episode, Peso90003. How's it going, bro?
What's going on, man? Thank you for having me.
Hey, where'd you drive from today?
From South Central Los Angeles.
Oh, how was the drive?
Not too bad, like 40 minutes.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. Well, thank you for being here. The new single, Say My Name, which you released a little bit ago, featuring Frosty and Mellowthing, is out now.
Yes, sir.
On all streaming. And they can follow you online at Peso90003, like I just said. And they'll see you on the screen as well. So take us back to the beginning, man. How did you get started making music?
So I'm a little older. Straight out of high school, I started recording. Mm-hmm. I bought my own little recording setup, in-home studio.
Yeah.
I was actually started off as like just recording the homies, recording friends, and finding beats online for them, and kind of doing the production side of things as far as like putting the music together and recording them. But
when was this?
This was like 2007, 8.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you started as a recording person?
Yeah, basically. Like I try to, think of myself that way. But, it was a process. And then eventually I kind of fell into the actual writing and recording myself. And then I fell in love with that aspect of it more than being behind the boards and trying to record people and doing that, yeah.
So when did you decide to start doing it for yourself?
Like around 2009,
okay.
I think, yeah. Around 2009, yeah. I decided to start making my own songs and finding my own beats for myself and kind of just focusing on myself mainly.
And did you leave the whole recording for other people behind?
Yeah, I kind of did. I mean, a lot of stuff was still in-house, as far as like who was recording me, it was myself. I would have people come around and do features with me and I would record them, but that's as far as it would go. Like I wouldn't focus on any other artists or it was just mainly in-house for myself.
That's cool, man. And sometimes you got to learn how to do everything. And then now that you're doing it on your own, like you can handle all the aspects of it.
Yeah, and this was early on, like YouTube stuff. So like it wasn't a lot of information out there. So it was a lot of trial and error. Yeah. Just asking people that are already into it and trying to figure it out that way.
So I'm sure by now you like have it down.
Again, I kind of stepped away from the whole recording and engineering. Like I guess I'm more of a convenience person. So like I find people that are more suited for that. Like I'm more focused on the rap aspect.
I feel you. That's cool, man. So how did you choose the name Peso?
So that happened like around 2006. I was trying to figure out my persona as far as like the whole music thing, and I was a big 50 Cent fan. And his name represents change, essentially, right? It's like a metaphor for change. And then me being Mexican and I'm being a big fan of this guy, so like I wanted to incorporate like those two things. So
okay.
Right? Like a peso's Mexican change, essentially.
Yeah. Oh, now I see it. And the numbers and everything. That's dope.
Well, and then the 90003 part came after. So I used to go by the name Peso the Maniac. Kind of, just trying to be funny, I guess.
Yeah.
Trying to add a little like spice to it. But later on, like 2012 is when I kind of changed it to Peso90003, and that's kind of to represent where I'm from. It's actually my zip code.
Oh, okay.
From South Central. So if people know, like, that's a South Central zip code.
Well, that's really cool that it all like ties together.
Yeah.
So who were your influences other than 50 Cent when you started like making music? Was there somebody you were trying to not sound like, but like do it like them?
I wouldn't say do it like them, but a lot of people would inspire me. I think Kanye West was a big one at that time, early on, like Kanye just being totally different from the norm.
Yeah.
Right, gangster rap at that era was like really big. The whole backpack thing was like kind of new as far as mainstream goes.
Yeah.
So it was a big inspiration because I didn't fall under that whole gangster persona stuff, right? Like I'm not tied into that. I'm not tied into the streets in that way. So seeing someone like Kanye come different and just totally changed the game. So like that was a big inspiration.
Yeah.
Pharrell was a big one at the time. Timbaland, like all these gentlemen that just introduced different sounds to the hip hop scene. It wasn't so much like the traditional boom bap stuff. It was like synthesizers and 808s and stuff like that.
I can hear that in the music too, the one that you sent. That's really cool. And so what do you think of Kanye now? Like the persona was one thing, but like the music, do you think he's still evolved?
Absolutely. I think, he's a genius. Like he's definitely an icon in the game.
Yeah.
Still, leveling up and being an innovator and doing things completely out of the norm. Like that's still commendable, and I respect him for that. And I think it's still a big inspiration.
Yeah, and that's what, like you're saying, like he's doing things outside the norm. Sometimes that's good, sometimes it's bad, but it's like it's different. And that's yeah. Even up until like maybe even this year, I was like, you know what? At least he's always interesting.
Correct. Yeah.
So speaking of people that are influential, one of the homies, Mellowthing, is here, and Eddie Ron. Shout out to those guys.
Yeah, shout out Mellow. Shout out Eddie.
Hey, so how did you link up with Mellowthing?
I have a really good friend. His name is Alfonso. He goes by the rap name Fonzie. He's also an actor. Through him is how I met Mello, really. He found out that I was making music, and I was kind of going pretty serious with it in 2020. And he just caught wind of it, and he's like, hey, I got someone I want you to meet. Come to the studio. And it was kind of like a, out of the blue type of thing. He just, yeah, I'm in the studio right now. You want to come up? So I just pulled up, and we made a song that night. And then from there, the relationship with Mello and I started,
Yeah, you guys did Mellow Vibes together?
So yeah, Mellow Vibes came. So we did a project, or he helped me work on a project before that called Ismael. It was named after my late homie Ismael Martinez.
Oh, okay.
That's kind of what propelled me into starting to get more serious with the music and kind of like really push myself and put myself out there in the scene. He was kind of the inspiration for that, Ismael, and then Mello facilitated me recording and mixing and mastering that stuff for me, and that's kind of where our recording and our producing relationship started. Yeah. After that, he started showing me his beats, and I said, these are pretty dope. He would send me beat packs, and I just kind of write to him, and then come to the studio and record. And eventually, we came up with the project called Mellow Vibes, which directly inspired by him. All the beats are made by him. Produced, recorded, mixed, mastered, all that stuff. So that's where that comes from.
It's great, man. Mellowthing has recommended so many great people to us. So shout out.
I mean, he's a genius, kind of like Kanye, honestly. Like he doesn't follow the normal trends. He's kind of like trying to step outside of the box and do stuff differently. Yeah, not really fall under the stereotypical like hip hop thing.
I agree. Yeah, shout out Mellowthing.
Yeah.
And like I said, the single Frosty and Mellowthing, Say My Name, is out now. So is there some other people that you're looking forward to working with in like the scene that you're in?
Definitely. I mean, thanks to Mello, like I've tapped in with a lot of OC people. I have songs with Eddie that haven't come out yet. Songs with Kid Vista. I'm actually, after this, we're gonna hit the studio and meet up with Daniel Levin to finish off a single that we're working on. Frosty. I'm really trying to tap in outside of LA. I think that would be kind of a cheat code for me, just to kind of start there. I want to start outside and kind of really broaden my horizon a little bit, And
you're going to be performing too, right? Next month in October
with Kid Vista, opening up for Kid Vista, Eric Young, Pretty Papes.
Yeah, we're going to be hosting that, so we'll see.
Man. Can't wait for it. Super excited for it.
How do you prepare for something like that?
It's all mental, really.
Yeah.
I mean, the music is pretty simple at this point. Like, we record the songs, and I'm listening to myself all the time. So that aspect of it, I think, is kind of second nature. It's just more of a mental thing. A lot of putting myself out there is still new to me. Kind of considering myself a public figure at this point is pretty new. So yeah, that's kind of more of like the challenge for me at this point.
Are you more of like the person that's like, I'm the creative person, not the networking business guy?
Yeah, honestly, yeah. That's a good way to put it. I'm more like, I just want to get things done type of thing, and the networking is new to me. Like being out there, being social, and kind of like, hey, shaking hands and hugging people, like that's pretty new. So I'm trying to break out of that and really trying to like go out of my way to meet people and go to different events. And I think that's how you and I met, honestly.
It was at one of the last Kid Vista show. I think.
Exactly. Or
was it? No, it was the OG movie.
The OG movie release. Eddie Rodden and Eric Young,
And that's the thing, is like it's tough. Like, I can tell you 7 years of doing this and trying to be that networking person, I'm still not that person. I don't love it. It's like it's so hard to go.
Sometimes I feel awkward about it. I think I was blowing you guys up on Instagram, and maybe that wasn't the best approach.
No, it's all good. We got it all organized now. So.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you think? So you said you're trying to work outside of LA. Like, was there a scene there that you were like a part of, like events and stuff happening?
Yeah, so there's a actual I guess, promoter company. I want to call it. It's Young Baka Productions. You know, they're really good homies of mine. They do a lot of shows in LA, Hollywood. I mean, really all over the city. I really started with them, like, initially. They gave me a lot of opportunities and kind of like really showcased me, but I wanted to step away from that just because I kind of felt like I plateaued at some point with them. So coming out to the OC and, you know, dealing with all these OC artists, I think it's a good opportunity for me to like kind of showcase my talents to like other audiences. Yeah.
And that's the way to go, because there's only so far you can get with, you know, in the same area. You got to branch out.
For sure.
So what do you hope to accomplish? Do you hope to be like a touring musician, or you make a lot of great albums, or do you want to do other things in the industry in the future as well?
I mean, at some point, I just want to be involved. You know, I want to make this my livelihood to some extent. You know, I work a 9 to 5. I'm a regular, you know, working Joe. And this is more of a passion for me at the moment. Yeah. But I want to turn it into something financially, you know, lucrative for me at some point. Yeah. You know, not just for me, honestly. It's for everyone involved. Like, I want... If I make it, then everyone else will type of mentality. That's kind of what I want. I want to create a thriving, you know,
community.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, shout out to you, man. And you're doing, like I said, you're doing the right things by doing these kind of like other Orange County events. And Kid Vista, he does a lot of stuff, and we're excited to see you perform there. So what are you hoping to do other than the performances this year?
Just release more music. Mello and I have a lot of stuff in the vault. A lot.
Is that coming this year?
Yeah, there's some stuff that I'm going to release pretty soon. Not really produced by Mello, but recorded and mixed and mastered by Mello. And then eventually we're going to start releasing some, you know, exclusive stuff produced by Mello. You know, there's a lot of artists that he's tapped me in with. Blueprints, I don't know if you're familiar, but we got some stuff in the works.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, send it our way. We'll definitely play it on the show.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
So before we play the tracks that you sent us, I wanted to do the speed round of questions. This is 60 seconds. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
All right, 60 seconds with Peso on The Rodriguez Show. Favorite cartoon character?
Bart Simpson.
Favorite song right now?
Favorite song right now, Say My Name.
What would describe you when you were a kid?
Bad as fuck.
Do you have a hidden talent?
I can draw pretty well.
Nice. Indica, sativa, or hybrid?
I'll do indica.
Netflix, Hulu, or HBO?
HBO.
Name of your best friend in high school?
Best friend in high school. Shit, I got so many. I'll say Patrick Miller.
First song you illegally downloaded?
Oh shit. It was a Limp Bizkit song. I think for the Nookie.
Nice. That's a good one. Rapping Drake or R&B Drake?
R&B Drake.
Jim Carrey or Will Ferrell?
Jim Carrey.
Yeah. Early 2000s hip hop or early 2010s?
Early 2000s.
Spotify, Apple Music, or Tidal?
Apple Music.
Sports car or classic car?
I'll do a sports car.
And your favorite thing about hip hop?
The creativity.
And that was 60 seconds with Peso on The All right, so you sent us 2 tracks, Dinero and Mellow Vibes. Dinero, tell us about the tracks.
So Dinero is off the project Ismael, you know, dedicated to my late homie. Rest in peace. Dinero is a song where, you know, it's really an ode to him. You know, he was a real hustler, a real like go get it type of person. And this is a precursor to Mellow Vibes, the project that me and Mello did. So that's why I kind of sent it to you, because I wanted you to hear that sound before Mello, and then the second song would be the song that me and Mello kind of worked on together.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's cool that you gave us both aspects of it. Well, that's it. We're going to play the 2 tracks right now. They can follow you online, Peso90003. And the single is Say My Name. And we're going to do that right now on The Rodriguez Show. Thank you for being here, bro.
Hey, thank you for having me, man. It's a blessing.